Hello, friends, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 10, Rugs to Riches, with your host, Link Speaker.
And Crypto Kai.
As you guys can see, we are in a completely new studio today, and for all future episodes, this is how we will be recording. So leave some comments, let us know what you guys think about our new studio. I know I speak for both of us that we're super excited to...
It's very exciting.
This next
It's going to be a fun time. It's a completely new spin on the show. I'm very excited.
Agreed. Well, in today's episode, we have some fun stuff to cover, so strap in while we dive into central bank endorsements of cryptocurrency, Ethereum upgrades, recent Chainlink integrations, and the mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies. So, let's dive right in.
Yeah, so I think we'll kick the day off because we kind of missed last week's episode. I'm sure a lot of you noticed that. We had some scheduling issues, but now we're back and ready to rock in a new studio. So we want to kind of start things off with covering some news from both this week and last week in today's episode. First, let's look at, kind of going back to April 16th, about the middle of last week.
Yep.
We noticed that Bitcoin was kind of pushing up, ready to make an all-time high, and ultimately got rejected pretty hard off that. And then, funny enough, soon after that, on the night of the 21st of April, we saw a heavy flash crash. I mean, very heavy.
Were you up watching that?
I think we were talking about it in the Discord channel, and we kind of saw it coming. I mean, it was hard, very aggressive.
It literally was dropping like $500 every minute.
Yeah, I mean, from the top to the bottom, at the end of the crash, it was around $10,000 from that one 24-hour, 48-hour period. That is a very heavy drop. I mean, it was kind of scary. I mean, when you're looking at investments and stuff like that, and you're looking to make trades and you're in trades, I mean, it gets kind of scary. But it's just that's a part of it, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, what caused that. I mean, it was pumping very hard. I mean, we were at 64,000 at the top, I think, ready to make a new all-time high. And when we did some digging into that, we kind of found some interesting news. We found that this flash crash was caused by a Chinese power outage, where authorities say that it was due to safety precautions due to a flooding accident in a local coal mine in China. So, I mean, what do you think about that?
I mean, how do you, and then to follow this up, right, especially with what they did less than 24 hours later, right, they shut down 25% of the global hashing power for the entire Bitcoin network, right? You can't shut down 25% of your hashing power and expect nothing to happen. And then for them to say it's quote unquote safety reasons, I mean, that seems super sketchy and fishy. What do you think?
No, that's very sketchy. I mean, it dropped from, I think we saw 174 million terahashes a second all the way down to 154 terahashes.
On the global Bitcoin network.
Yes, global. So,
that's
I mean,
huge.
That drops the Bitcoin terahash rate by a large amount.
Yes,
so, and that's why you see the price dip by about $10,000 in a matter of several hours a day.
Well, really, like, it felt like minutes just watching.
Yeah, it was fast. I mean, and we saw the market take a heavy turn from that. I mean, we saw Ethereum kind of took a dip on that as well, down to around 2,000 flat. The whole market saw a pretty heavy crash, not as bad as what we saw in past episodes when we talked about in February, but still pretty heavy.
And let's talk about so they shut off 25% of the hashing power. Now let's talk about what they did 24 hours later. You want to share with our listeners what they did 24 hours later?
And this is what kind of makes us stop and kind of think, like, we don't really know if it's for safety precautions.
Right.
Yeah, safety precautions. Because then Li Bo, the deputy governor of the Central Bank of China, 24 hours later deemed crypto assets such as Bitcoin as a good investment tool that should be invested into as an alternative. So he's like putting his stamp of approval on crypto as a whole and saying, we believe in crypto now, after a power outage that completely wrecked Bitcoin.
If that doesn't scream manipulation to you guys, I don't know what does.
Yeah.
How do you crash the market, right, for cryptocurrency?
Safety reasons or not.
Right. Safety reasons or not. Right. And then less than 24 hours later, your central bank of one of the largest nations in the world says we now deem and we now accept cryptocurrency as an investment asset.
And I read that around 9,000 Bitcoin was moved to a large wallet.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, so right before the crash, 9,000 Bitcoin was moved. So it's a little fishy, and especially like this is the first time that we've ever seen China like recognize crypto as a valid asset. it's a little weird. Like, I mean, Lebo,
fishy.
he said that, like, this is a good investment option as cryptocurrencies in themselves, and now they're starting to explore, like, their like regulations and policies and stuff. So, like, China's now all of a sudden, after a crash like that, is taking steps to adopting crypto in their country.
My thought process, I don't know about you, Crypto Kai, but mine is they flash crashed it by shutting off the hashing power, causing the entire market to dip. And then if we probably followed some breadcrumbs around the market, we'd probably find the Central Bank of China buying massive amounts of cryptocurrency. Right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure that we could. I mean, if we found the right wallets, we could. I mean, everything's transparent. You can. We track wallets all the time. I'm sure we could find the right wallet and see, you know, hey, where's this going? Where's this BTC heading? And watch it trickle down. It's interesting. But, like, on the other side, what do we feel like? How do we feel about China saying, yeah? I mean, cryptocurrencies, like, do you think this is a good thing? I mean, where does this send crypto? Is this good for crypto? Is this bad for crypto? I know some people are scared about regulation, some aren't.
Well, what I think this kind of does in general for cryptocurrency is it shows us that we have a weak point right now, right? We have a weak point with China now having an ability to flex on the market, right? Manipulate the market, right? But then on the flip side, the kind of the double-edged side of the sword, right? We now have China endorsing it, right? So I think this is a double-edged sword that we will definitely keep you guys up to date on and, you know, apprised of the situation. But if I had to weigh this as a positive versus a negative, I think we're leaning positive, because now we have one of the largest governments in the entire world, specifically the central bank of that government, now saying cryptocurrencies are here to stay, right? And I love how they said that it's not a currency, right? They made it clear, super clear that they don't see it as a currency, but as an investment asset. So, you know, one of the biggest things I know that before moving on to the next part of the show, one of the biggest things that some of the people that we talk to about is like, what if the governments ban it? Blah blah blah. Right? We saw it in India. Right? With this type of move, I don't think the world has a choice but to start moving in the direction of adoption. Otherwise, China will obliterate the entire world in innovation.
Yeah, you and I talked about it. I mean, China and India are two of the largest countries in the world. And India has said, no, we're banning it. Like, this isn't, like, we're not doing crypto. And now China's saying, yes, we are. So, I mean, China will leave India behind. And India's already, India's already technologically behind. Behind China. China is, I mean, one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world. So this puts them even further ahead if India doesn't follow along, and they will struggle to fall very far behind if they don't decide to pick up and possibly entertain crypto.
Have to.
Yeah, they have to.
I think this forces them into it. But guys, we will keep you guys apprised of any more information with China, kind of their adoption of cryptocurrency, them moving forward into this revolution. But I think a fun little area to move on here. We've talked about multiple times on the show the Ethereum network has to scale in order to keep really the number 2 spot, right? Number 2 cryptocurrency in the world, right? They have to scale. Now, we had just a couple weeks ago, we had the Berlin hard fork, right? Which is a network upgrade which incorporates the Ethereum improvements and tinkers with gas prices, right? Crypto Kai, you want to kind of inform us a little bit more about what this means for the future of the scaling of Ethereum?
Yeah, so with this new hard fork, they're incorporating 4 new upgrades, and they do different things. They tinker with gas prices and allow new different types of transactions. The main goal of them is to do different things like reduce the gas cost for different types of transactions that use modular exponentiality. So that's like just your base. I mean, that's basically saying like that's how they run their gas prices. It's just gas prices in general. They're trying to finally fix the gas problem,
which is required.
That's what we've been talking about. I mean, we have other blockchains that will definitely take that spot if they don't fix it first. And I mean, we've seen a lot of blockchains starting to make major moves.
Well, I mean, we're talking more about the Binance Smart Chain later in the show, but when you start to look at, okay, hey, Ethereum's finally starting to scale after delay after delay after delay.
It's about time.
It's about time, right? I mean, this update, this Berlin hard fork was scheduled for what? I want to say June last year?
It was scheduled for June or July 2020 and was pushed back now almost a whole year. We are one month shy. almost 1 month shy of a year.
How do you, as an ecosystem, delay an entire year?
That doesn't look good on your network or in your product at all.
Not only did you miss the deadline, you missed
it by a lot.
A lot, right? So, I mean, this makes me a little excited, guys, for the Ethereum network. I think they're finally starting to see these issues.
There's a lot of changes coming with gas, backwards compatibility. I mean, there's like increased gas prices for like opcode and stuff, but that helps with denial of service. So we should have more security on the Ethereum network,
which is good.
And then as well, you can they're adding like bids now for lower gas prices, so you can almost like say, okay, execute my buy at this kind of gas price. So they're doing things to kind of work with and get lower gas prices built into the network, which is good. At least, even if it's not perfect, at least we're seeing a direction. I think that's the biggest takeaway from this. As well, I mean, there's other news that kind of goes along with this Berlin hard fork launch, and this is just reducing gas fees in general and everything that we just talked about. But with the London hard fork coming after that in July, supposedly. Supposedly. Let me put that stipulation out there. It's supposed
a few months delay at least.
Yeah. So when we look at that, they're looking into launching and implementing a burn function into every transaction on the Ethereum network. And what this can do is that it will create like ETH. It'll have ETH make 3 BTC cycles worth of deflation in only 12 months. So I mean, what does that mean? Can you, break that down for the listeners? Like, what does the 3 BTC cycles in 1 year mean?
So to kind of do like a little quick crash run course for you guys on what the BTC halving is. So everyone knows that when you're mining in general to get Bitcoin, you have to mine it, right? And when Bitcoin first launched, in order to successfully have a transaction and your graphics card mined, you get 50 Bitcoin after your graphics card 50 Bitcoin after successfully completing one of those transactions. And it has halvening cycles, right? And these halvening cycles are what spur the bull runs. We had one last year, right? We had one in 2016 that spurred on the 2017 one, right? And so it halves the amount of Ethereum, well, specifically Bitcoin in the Bitcoin example. But for this, what they're saying is that we are now implementing a hyper de-inflationary actually method into the entire Ethereum network. So what I think this does long term is substantially reduce the amount of Ethereum in the ecosystem, but then has an massive inverse effect on price. Yeah. So
it's supply and demand. It's
exactly.
It hyper deflates, I guess, supply and demand. So I mean, you have a much smaller supply, but the demand for Ethereum is going to go through the roof because now people are going to realize, hey, this value is going to skyrocket, and the use for it as well.
Well, do you think that this was obviously announced a couple weeks ago? Mm-hmm. I mean, this could be one of the main reasons Ethereum has been defying Bitcoin consistently.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. So we talked about that dip earlier in the episode with the BTC dipping down to, I mean, as low as $48,000 at the end of that huge crash. But Ethereum stayed at above 2,000. That's the first time that we've seen Bitcoin take a major pullback like that, and Ethereum hold fairly strong.
Ethereum defied Bitcoin, and guys,
now look at it.
Well, guys, specifically for Chainlink, we'll talk more about price later in the show, but specifically for Chainlink, that is really exciting. Chainlink is the largest ERC20 token on the Ethereum ecosystem and ties closely together price movement wise with Ethereum, right? So if we see Ethereum starting to divide Bitcoin, right, we could see Chainlink and the rest of the top ERC20 tokens start to defy Bitcoin as well, and that's really exciting.
Well, and as well, I mean, we're talking about in a 12-month time, Ethereum possibly going through what would be like 3 bull run cycles in 1 year.
Oh my gosh.
And we know that as Ethereum makes more dominance and starts to pump, eventually the alts come with it. So, I mean, we're looking at Ethereum not only itself making a huge price movement this year. I mean, potentially. I know I've seen, speculations of, whatever number 2,000, whatever it may be.
Could be a lot higher than that.
Could be a lot higher than that now, especially because of this. And what does that do for all the other coins? Not just Chainlink, but all the other altcoins. I mean, we've already been seeing a lot of crazy movement. I think it's just the beginning.
Agreed. And guys, just to do another little quick education session on why Crypto Kai and I are so excited about that. When you look at the Ethereum price going up, it's like, why should we care about that being a Chainlink focused show, or why should I be that if I'm, investing in altcoins? The money trickles down, right? So when you have money entering into Ethereum, right, you now have eventually that same amount of money into the entire ecosystem will now come down like a waterfall system into the rest of the Ethereum coins. And there are what's the percentage? 40 to 50% of all cryptocurrencies are built on top of the Ethereum system, right?
Yep.
So 30 to 40% of all cryptocurrencies now are getting increased market cap for their mother coin, the mother coin.
They're getting a piece of the cake. I mean,
yeah, exactly. So we could see a massive, our bull run this year could be substantially larger now with this hyper de-inflationary mechanism being built into the system. So I'm pretty excited about that. But
it has me pretty bullish on the rest of the year.
Right? I don't think we've seen anything yet this year. If
not that bullish.
Nothing. So, guys, we will keep you guys up to date. We have the London hard fork coming out in July. So
excited for that.
Right?
We'll definitely cover that heavily when that comes out and they release the news on all that.
Let's kind of move on to the next part of the show here, where we start to talk about gaming NFTs. They're super hot. I mean, they're all over social media. You got Logan Paul. You got Mark Cuban. You got all these bigger celebrities, people on all these different types of programs talking about it. And then now we have Japan's gaming giant Nexon says BTC offers long-term stability and liquidity while maintaining the value of cash for future investments. So here we have a whole nother company, once again, saying we're seeing cash as a liability, and we're seeing Bitcoin as stability. It's it's the inverse effect of just even 2017, right? We didn't have hyperinflation in 2017.
No, not like this.
Not even anywhere close. So, I mean, what do you think, Crypto Kai? What do you think that this is a signal that Bitcoin is once again becoming more mainstream?
Oh yeah, I think this is definitely showing it. I mean, have constantly now seen more and more large companies. I mean, this is a multi-billion-dollar company that has now decided to say, hey, let's buy 1,700 Bitcoin, approximately $100 million in U.S. equivalent, and that's a Japanese country. So for them, I read that it was actually it was like $11 billion
of their currency.
I think it's the Japanese yen is what it was.
Ridiculous.
So I mean, they put a large stake of their company's assets into Bitcoin. So when you look at that, I mean, Bitcoin is starting to become a form of trust and security, and that speaks volume for crypto as a whole, and speaks volume for the levels of where Bitcoin can go in this bull run, and just we have these dips, but things like this keep you positive and show that it's everything's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
When you have smart money, exactly what you just said, the last part there. When you have smart money, right, moving and saying once again, cash is a liability, crypto is safe, and you're starting to see this mass adoption, right? That's why one of the biggest reasons I'm so bullish on crypto, right? Is because you have these huge companies that have these board of directors and everyone else and shareholders that are saying, now let's hop right in. But this is the more exciting part to me personally. The Nexon CEO, Owen Mahoney, said, our purchase of BTC reflects a disciplined strategy for protecting shareholder value.
Yeah.
That's a huge endorsement.
Yeah, so now they're talking about their stockholders are now more protected because of their decisions to own Bitcoin.
Massive.
So that, I mean,
disciplined.
Yes.
He just attached the word disciplined to crypto.
Basically, I mean, so they're also basically saying, hey, we're sitting on this. We're not selling this. So they're kind of taking Elon Musk approach of, hey, Bitcoin is an asset that we want to sit on. We're not selling. It's to help our company grow. Let's
a little side tangent here before we move on to the rest of Nexon. Did you see some of the articles talking about how Elon Musk sold a portion of his
I did see
sold
those.
the Bitcoin? So guys, it's FUD. Okay, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That's what FUD stands for, right? It's all it is. Not only did Elon Musk only sell 10% of Tesla's portion in Bitcoin, he took to Twitter, which he loves to do.
Yeah,
he loves his one-liners, right? He took to Twitter and said, we only sold 10%. It was to prove that it was liquid, and we will not be repeating this action. And not only that, I did not sell any of my personal Bitcoin, right? So once again, like, when you look at the smart money sees the de-inflationary value of this. So, I mean, this is just, once again, smart money moving in the direction of crypto.
Yeah, and I think it goes to show when you have companies like this and you have, great minds like Elon Musk, the CEO here of Nexon, Owen Mahoney, when you have people like this saying, this is where I'm putting my money, this is where I want my company's money at, it goes to show that crypto is now being looked at as the safe way to store your value, to store your assets, instead of just liquid cash.
Yep.
I mean, if people like this are doing, why shouldn't them, just everyone, the average person, the mainstream people? I mean, it's just a matter of time. So,
Agreed.
I mean, this is a very large company that decided to buy into crypto and to move some of their assets to BTC. And I mean, just so you guys know the level of this company, I mean, they operate in more than 190 countries, include games like MapleStory and Dungeon Fighter, and that's just 2 of 60.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a large company. They've been around for a very long time, 10 franchises. I mean, it's a pretty big deal that you have a company like this putting $100 million into Bitcoin.
And a little side note here too. We've covered, guys. We had the MobiPay CEO on our show, right? We've talked about some of the how bullish we are on that project in general, right? Not financial advice, but their CEO. Did you see his post? Yeah. So their
on Instagram, right?
Yeah. Their CEO went. I think it was on Twitter. It could have been both. Came to Twitter and said, "Hey, we see Bitcoin as a way forward for the future. We see cryptocurrency as an asset that is valuable, right? And that's, once again, just another multi-billion. Leandri's owns tons of hotels. They own casinos. They own restaurants, tons of restaurants, right? So now you have crypto directly connected to all of these different organizations, and once again, just showing how mass adoption for these companies is coming. So
very fast.
We're really, really excited about that and the future adoption, guys. We will keep you guys continuously updated on the companies that are continuing to move forward in cryptocurrency and continuously adopting cryptocurrency. But let's kind of move on to our NFT portion of the show. Now, ERN, right? We've been trading it. We're traders, guys, so this is a fun little coin we've been trading. But they announced on Twitter, or actually I think Chainlink did, that they were partnering with Chainlink, Eternity. And what Eternity is Eternity is a NFT project that gets authenticated NFTs. So imagine, right, any of your top baseball players, football players, basketball stars, any of your Katy Perry's, any of those big music stars, right? They want to create NFTs. They are forming the authenticated platform for everyone to be able to go to mint and create NFTs. So that's huge. Really cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen celebrities like Logan Paul, like we talked about earlier. I mean, Logan Paul made his own NFT and made like $3 million the first day. So I mean, when you have a platform like this, that
could you imagine making $3 million in one day?
That's crazy. I mean, it was a good move. It's a crazy move by him. So I mean, when you have Eternity making a platform like this to do it the proper way, the best way possible, it's kind of sky's the limit for what's next. And I don't know about you, I kind of dabbled in the past into like sports cards, stuff like that, Pokemon cards, and reselling and like collecting and stuff. One of my friends is a really big collector as well, and like the value behind it is insane. Off of cardboard. And we obviously know the value of NFTs is stupid right now.
Well, I don't think it's anything compared to what it's about to
No,
be,
exactly.
Right?
But this is the way. Like, this is the way the two platforms, the two industries meet and mesh almost perfectly.
Agreed.
And the value of that, and where not only Eternity can go, but like NFTs in general. It's going to be like, I think this might be another part of like just the crazy revolution of crypto.
Agreed.
I mean, NFTs and all like Pokemon, Panini and their sports cards coming over to and making NFTs that are digitally autographed by all these,
which is awesome.
These professional athletes and stuff. It would be a really cool It's cool concept. It has me really excited for what NFTs can do. NFTs are crazy.
They are crazy. Well, I mean, let's talk about why we're really excited about this partnership too. So, guys, to kind of give you guys a little bit of a rundown on what Eternity is doing and why we are so excited about this partnership with Chainlink, let me read just a couple things from the article that they posted. So it says, Eternity ePacks offer the Eternity community a fair opportunity to acquire incredibly rare A NFTs. A stands for accredited, or this is an actual authenticated one. It says Chainlink's verifiable randomness function will be used as the tamper-proof and transparent source of on-chain randomness that determines which a NFT a user will be opening when the ePack is opened, right? So this ensures a provably fair distribution model that protects the rarity of ANFTs, since no one can game the system to mint the rarest ones for themselves. So this just said, right, that it is a crucial, VRF from Chainlink is a crucial integration into our service to be able to guarantee that you cannot tamper with this system.
Yeah, I mean, that's
massive.
As big as it can get for an NFT.
Massive, right? So this to me makes me, we were already trading the coin because it has crazy swings as traders.
A lot of, for traders it has a crazy amount of potential for profit.
Yeah,
so
massive amounts of profit potential. But now I'm really bullish on this project, guys. Like when someone partners with the best and then says to Chainlink, they are now a crucial part of our ecosystem, that makes me understand that they understand the true value that Chainlink offers.
They understand the true value of what Chainlink offers, and also they understand the value of just like what they're doing, and having Chainlink a part of it can now be.
Yep.
So I mean, they're looking out for what's the best for their project in the long run. So I mean, when you partner, like what you said, when you partner with the best, they are now ensuring that their project is, they're trying to future-proof and potential to be the best of it, like its kind in that area of the NFTs.
It just sets their project really apart from all the other projects out there, because you're utilizing the best technology ever created. Yeah, right.
That's hands down.
Right.
We've made that clear.
Really, true. And so they didn't just incorporate VRF, guys. They also incorporated the price feeds. So they're using two completely separate but working together parts of the Chainlink ecosystem, right? And so just to kind of read from this a little bit better, since they have it all written down here, it says multi-currency payments for purchasing ePacks. Users within the Eternity community will be able to purchase ePacks using a wide range of cryptocurrencies as payment, right? So Chainlink price feeds will now be used to acquire up-to-date exchange information, right? What this is basically doing is ensuring that there's no sort of hack on the systems that says Chainlink price is $45 right now, and when it's really at 40 or vice versa, right? Yeah. It's using Chainlink's proven price feed system to guarantee that when you're purchasing something on their ecosystem, it's the right price. I mean, what do you think, CryptoKai? Do you think this is huge?
Yeah, no, that's 100% huge, because I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk about NFTs and like, where's the value coming from? Who's assigning this dollar amount? And like, I mean, we've kind of seen, I think some people, you can set the value of your own NFT. Yep. Which, I mean, does kind of create a little bit of worry in some regards. But now on the Eternity platform and network, in their NFT platform, there's no worry about that, because Chainlink is validating and updating those price feeds constantly. So it strengthens, I mean, it really does strengthen just the NFT marketplace even more. So, I mean, not only Eternities, but just overall.
Agreed.
So it's kind of validating and solidifying NFTs are here to stay.
Agreed. Well, guys, that's kind of our segment on NFTs. We're going to continue to cover NFTs in future episodes. It's one of the hottest segments of the crypto space in general is NFTs. I think that it has the potential long term to even dwarf DeFi if it continues to get the public on board with it, right? So we'll continue to cover that, keep you guys up to date. But some of a few of the integrations that may have me really excited, especially with Binance starting to really take over with volume, let's kind of chat about what's happening with Pancake Swap and Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah, so this is pretty exciting. I know we've just kind of gotten started in using Pancake Swap, but they're coming out with a lot of cool announcements.
Yep.
Actually, just 2 days ago on the 27th, they announced that they would be launching a new product known as Prediction. And basically explaining this in the most simplistic way that I can, it's basically like stock calls and puts. You can bet on the BNB token going up or down. It's kind of an all-in stake, which is the risky side of it, but the returns are pretty crazy. I mean, we were seeing, looking into this, we were seeing potential of 3x on some of your investments on calling it to go up or down.
And you missed the crazy part. It's like, what, 5, 10, 15 minute windows?
Yeah, it's 5-minute windows. So this is where the Chainlink integration comes into play, which is very cool. So the new prediction product revolves around decentralized oracles, in which they decided to integrate Chainlink to access a tamper-proof and up-to-date price feed for every 5-minute window that they have one of these, I guess, bids going on.
Yep.
So it executes, it goes live at 1 5-minute time period. I don't know exactly like when they start, but let's say it started at 3:30.
Sure.
So that's when it goes live. It is updating constantly through that entire time on that one bid, and then at the end of the 5 minutes, it's updated with the final price feed update, by Chainlink's Oracle network and validated, and that's what it is. So then it's determined, did it go up, did it go down, who do I pay out, and what amount?
I mean, that makes me excited specifically because they're using Chainlink's tamper-proof.
Mm-hmm.
It's already been proven. So when you're talking about these fast timelines, if you use a system that cannot be tampered with, it allows them to start executing this stuff without the fear of investors saying, I wonder what's going to happen with my money.
Yeah, and we talked about as well, when you're talking about calls and puts like this, if this wasn't decentralized and they weren't using Chainlink,
Exactly.
A big whale could manipulate this heavily. And
a few.
Yeah, a few. I mean, easily.
Yep.
And I mean, if they wanted to tank the price and get there, I mean, then they could cash out big
Yep.
on the put.
Yep.
So, I mean, they could look at potentially getting like 4 or 5x their investment and just doing it over, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
over again.
So this protects that, and
Yep.
it also opens up the door. With this being, them using Chainlink and making this new product, it opens up the door to a whole new world of crypto.
Agreed.
All right, so we've seen some other attempts at this prediction in the past. I'm not sure what other projects it was exactly, but they weren't using Chainlink's price feed oracles, so it was able to be tampered with, by big whales if they wanted to, and that could create a lot of havoc, and it, kind of debunks the whole purpose, and like it makes it just not worth it when big whales can manipulate that system and possibly
Agreed.
sway the market, and if they want to dump it and get their put call and get a 3x, like the potential gains that they can get is dumb.
It's just massive manipulation, and for the people like us or some of the people that are out there just trying to have fun with the gambling system, right? It's because that's really what it is gambling.
It is
right. It makes it to where it's fixed,
Yep.
and now with Chainlink being this verifiable randomness and bringing these price feeds, right, integrated into the system, it makes it to where I'm sure they'll always try to find some way to manipulate it.
Of course, yeah.
This makes it really hard to do so.
Very hard, and it kind of allows crypto space in the way that you can invest and play with your money expand.
Agreed.
Makes it a little bit more usable, a little bit more fun, can potentially have a bigger audience outreach. So overall, I think, this Pancake news is pretty cool. It's a little bit more of just a fun one, but
Yep.
it's still pretty big that you have a Binance, product using Chainlink Oracle
Endorsing
network.
Chainlink
Yeah,
now.
100%. And kind of goes on to the next part. Yeah.
So, guys, one of the other integrations that has to do with Binance is Binance Smart Chain has integrated Chainlink VRF live on the mainnet. It's fully integrated as the recommended Oracle solution for BSC developers needing verifiable and tamper-proof source of on-chain randomness to build provably fair gaming dApps and dynamic NFTs. Wow. So this is one of the fastest growing blockchains in the world saying all projects that build on us, please use Chainlink, right? When you have Chainlink, the Chainlink system that has the perfect record that Chainlink has with this VRF system, there's no reason not to use Chainlink, right?
Yeah.
And now with BSC endorsing it, I think we're going to see a flood of NFT systems and dApps, gaming dApps, be built. And are you excited about that? I am.
Very excited. For Chainlink, that's just huge for Chainlink. It brings so much more value to Chainlink. We already know it's there, but it kind of it just validates it, especially with such a big blockchain like Binance,
Yep.
Smart Chain, using it and giving it that stamp of approval on everything that's built on top of their system.
Yep.
It's very cool to see. I mean, and like you said, NFTs. I mean, if you're an NFT project and you're not using Chainlink VRF, what are you doing?
Like, why are you not doing it?
Why are you having an NFT at that point? It doesn't make sense. This validates your NFTs and, dots all the I's, crosses all the T's.
Agreed.
Make sure that they're perfect and they're done correctly as they should be, so no one has any discrepancy over its validity and randomness. So, I mean, this is how it should be, and I'm very excited.
Me too. And guys, this kind of takes this a step further. I think us as crypto people in the crypto community need to demand the projects that are not using this proven solution. Why are you not using it, right? Like we've seen all these types of DApps be launched that use their own centralized oracles or are not using Chainlink VRF. Let's start a movement in the crypto space of, guys, let's go into the Telegrams and let's ask our communities, why are you guys not using Chainlink?
Kind of shame them almost
right?
for not using
shame.
Chainlink.
Exactly, a shame campaign.
Yeah, especially if they're projects like this. If you're a DApp gaming product, or if you're an NFT project and you're not, I mean, there's an issue. I mean, there's a big issue, and you're creating a lot of room for manipulation and security issues. I mean, we've seen it happen with these centralized oracles. It's just
all the time.
It's not a good idea. I mean, look at Kraken before they implemented. I mean, we've talked about that before, but that was a huge issue. And now, since they implemented Chainlink, it's fixed. It's not an issue anymore.
They've never had an issue again.
And kudos to them. They at least fixed it. They should have had it all along, but kudos.
True.
So that's what we need to be like seeing and preaching on all projects. 100% agree.
Guys, we'll keep you update on Binance integrations, Binance news containing Chainlink. We're super excited about these integrations. I think this could be massive for us as a Chainlink community and as a Chainlink the project itself. But can kind of move into our last few segments of the show, right? Crypto Kai, do you want to kind of tell us a little bit about the next segment?
We talk about mass adoption a lot, and we talk about how can this possibly get in front of the average person, like that might not know what crypto is, might be uncomfortable with it, whatever it may be. They're just not in crypto.
Yep.
What's the best way to get people into crypto, get them comfortable? Well, I think we might have found it. So we've recently had some very large influencers, I guess, or professionals take to Twitter, specifically professional NFL athletes like, or perspective, I guess. Trevor Lawrence, he's the presumptive #1 draft pick. If you are unfamiliar for who he is, he's a stud out of Clemson, predicted to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But he just recently signed an endorsement deal with a cryptocurrency investment app known as Blockfolio. But what's cool is he took 100% of his signing bonus in crypto.
That's awesome.
All of his signing bonus.
That's awesome.
So it was deposited in his, I'm guessing his crypto wallet, Friday, April 23rd. And then turned around a couple days later. By the end of the week, it was already worth more than he had gotten it deposited with. Yeah.
It's smart.
But he's not the only one. We're seeing a lot of people take to crypto now. Another football player, Kansas City Chiefs tight end Sean Culkin, announced that he is converting his entire NFL salary to Bitcoin.
Smart man.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, you're looking at, I'm not sure exactly how much he makes. I didn't really look into exactly his salary, but I mean,
I'm sure it's a lot.
On the low end. On the low end,
$300K.
NFL athletes are making, I mean, you're talking, that's bench. You're talking bench practice squad, you're making $200K. I mean, I know just from like my past in athletics and stuff at Purdue and everything, I mean, I know some current NFL athletes that are on practice squad, and they're talking about they're making $200K just going to practice.
That $200K is worth $400K next year. I mean, like, it just compounds, right?
Yeah, so you're looking at, this guy could be, I don't know exactly if he's practice squad, if he's suiting up, but even if he's suiting up, he's making probably a good $500,000 a year, and he just said, let's throw it all in Bitcoin.
Smart man.
Yeah, no, super smart man, and it speaks a lot of volume for, if these people that have this amount of money and are willing to throw that amount of money at crypto, why shouldn't everyone else? So we've kind of seen, I mean, a lot of these football players are now seeing it as a way to free themselves further, so why not? Like, why shouldn't everyone else do this? If they're seeing it as a way, when they're already free, they have millions of dollars or at least hundreds of thousands of dollars, living more than comfortable.
More than comfortable.
Why shouldn't the everyday person? I think we're going to see, based off of these people that, I mean, these are people that average people, like, on the street, I mean, idolize. Like, they love these people.
I think it just brings crypto mainstream now. Even more,
no, it does.
right?
Yeah, I mean, I was seeing people in the Twitter under that tweet. I was seeing people saying, yeah, I've like Trevor Lawrence signed with Adidas. Some guy was like, yeah, I picked up Adidas stuff. I've made a Blockfolio account, put $2,000 into it. Like,
love it.
He's like just doing everything that Trevor Lawrence is doing.
It.
So I mean, when you're talking about people doing stuff like that, I mean, even not people that are diehard like that, but I mean, it's like, oh, Trevor Lawrence is doing it. Yeah, I might as well throw something at crypto, see what I can make out of it, and then it just snowballs from there. And like you said, mass adoption. It's becoming more and more mainstream. Things like this is what is going to help push crypto even further this year, and what's making the bull run even more special.
Agreed. So, and I mean, like, when do you think the NFL has to, or the NBA, right? When do they start massively purchasing Bitcoin, Ethereum, some of these other cryptocurrencies, because they can now buy them at a cheaper rate, and then pay their employees their signing bonuses in Bitcoin or in this stuff like I think that we could see these huge organizations start massively FOMOing in, because look at what just happened, right? We pay his signing bonus, and let's just, as an example, let's just say 1 Bitcoin, right? And 1 Bitcoin when they bought it is worth 50,000. Next week it's worth 60,000, right? This is example numbers.
Yeah,
right?
He just made 20% on his signing bonus. That's stupid.
That's
crazy.
Why would they not start massively buying cryptocurrency as a way to protect their funds, right? Because then they're spending less money on it.
100%.
So, guys, I think that this is a lot bigger than it may seem on the surface. Like, the public figures, public stars now saying we prefer cryptocurrency instead of cash. I think this is just, as one of our episode names, forever ago, is the domino effect, right? I think this is just another domino that's continuing to tip over in this bull run.
It's a domino that we didn't really talk about in that episode. We talked about mainly like large companies, large institutions buying in, and that being the domino. But I mean, what about just celebrities and influencers? That's another large piece of the domino. It's people that trust of trust. That's what it is. You trust someone, you believe what they say, and now everyone, not everyone, but you know what I'm saying. Everyone's in crypto. Everyone's happy. Everyone's making money and freeing themselves. That's what it's about. It's about spreading wealth and helping people get free, and that's what I'm excited for. If we can get more people like that out there, like Trevor Lawrence, to push crypto with his large platform, that's amazing.
Agreed. Well, guys, that's the bulk of our content for the show. We always like to kind of end off the show with a price talk about Chainlink, kind of what Chainlink's been happening. We hope you guys liked our funny episode name, Rugs to Riches, because Bitcoin basically rugged us with China literally dumping the price to accumulate some more. But I mean, let's end the show with some price talk. So
yeah, for sure.
As we're kind of sitting here talking, guys, Bitcoin is down 3.5% to $52,987. Bringing Chainlink to a price of $35.70 or so, right about there. It's fluxing in that area.
It's been pretty steady there.
It has. I mean, it's building support here in this 35 to 37 range, starting a new consolidation area. And on the divergence indicator on the 1 hour, we're kind of fluxing in that mid-level range. What do you think what do you think about the current price of the market right now, Crypto Kai?
Overall, Bitcoin. I mean, I feel like it's about to make a leg lower, possibly. I know we were talking earlier. We said it was kind of in that overbought area.
Yep.
And we knew that it had that bearish indicator that we saw, so we knew it was coming. But I mean, we could be entering very soon. I mean, as it gets overbought and kind of pushes back down, we could flip and we could have a bearish indicator and we could start seeing another push back up.
Yep.
But I do like how Ethereum's looking right now. I have the Ethereum chart pulled up right now. And
it's saying "screw you, Bitcoin."
It is.
It's really what it's doing.
It really is. Bitcoin. You said Bitcoin dropped to what?
So we're down almost 3.5% on Bitcoin right now.
What's the price?
Almost 53,000.
Okay, so Bitcoin dropped from 56 earlier today to 53. Well, Ethereum, yes, has taken a drop from 2,800, but it hit 27 and bounced not instantly. Hard, but it bounced instantly, and now it's back up to 27.30.
Guys, that is super bullish. Like, for some of you guys that don't know too much about the market, so Bitcoin with its $1 trillion market cap, when it moves, a 1% move is $10 billion, right? It's a lot of money. And so when you have a move of, say, 3%, over $30 billion evaporated from the total market crypto, and then you have an asset like Ethereum saying, screw you, Bitcoin, and it's only down 0.5% right now, That is very bullish.
Yeah, very.
Very bullish. And I think that's also why we're seeing Chainlink not overreact, because if Bitcoin was down 3.5%, 4% right now, normally Chainlink would be down at least 8 to 9, maybe even 10% right now. And it's saying screw you to Bitcoin. So that's bullish.
It's kind of what we talked about earlier. Ethereum is pulling the alts with it. And I want to say that we're going to see, I mean, Ethereum's been making a run, obviously. We saw it make a run from like when that dip happened from 2,000 to 2,800 now.
Yep.
But, I mean, we could see Ethereum really, like if Bitcoin stop, like kind of goes sideways for a little bit, we could see Ethereum make a huge run.
Agreed.
A huge run. And that would, like, maybe not at that time while it's making the run, but soon after,
Agreed.
the alts start coming with it. And that's when you start seeing Chainlink go into that really heavy price movement that we're looking for. But, I mean, honestly, I'm not upset about Chainlink kind of going sideways, not sideways, but like consolidating here in the 35 to 37. It builds an amazing support. The last dip we hit 28. Honestly, I mean, next dip? What if we don't go below 30? That's all. That's amazing for me.
Build a support level
yeah,
here. Agreed.
That is amazing for me. I do hope if we see Ethereum start to run, the next barrier is really, I mean, we hit 44. Obviously, that's the all-time high, but the next mental barrier, is $50. I mean, that is a huge psychological barrier to break through. That's going to be, if we break through that, that's when we start seeing Chainlink really start moving, I think.
Well, with Ethereum, if Ethereum continues to act bullish in the market, right, and Chainlink's the closest or the biggest ERC20 token, I think it tags along just by itself.
Yep.
And then we're long overdue for our own independent run. So when we start entering, guys, we are literally entering into May right now, right? We're at the end of April. If you look back at the 2017 bull run, the next 3 to 4 months, we saw massive volatility. We're talking about hundreds of percent moves on just Bitcoin alone, not to mention the alts. So it's going to be a crazy few months.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I agree. We've been talking about the alt season. We talked about it in the last episode, which was 2 weeks ago now.
Yep.
It obviously did not play out how we were expecting.
Well, we had a mini one.
I mean, we saw VeChain pump pretty heavy. We saw some other ones.
Alts.
Yeah, some other alts pump pretty heavy. ESRDL to note. But, I mean, as a whole alt season, like we are wanting and everyone's kind of craving right now, we still haven't seen.
Yep.
And I think it's close.
I think
this Bitcoin, this is another large, I mean, we just saw another large shakeout just to see, you know, who's gonna sell, where the weak hands are.
Not.
Yeah, exactly. So it's coming.
Yep.
We just have to be patient. Obviously, there's no crystal ball. I wish there was.
Right.
But if there was, this wouldn't be crypto.
True.
So it's just a matter of time.
Guys, thank you guys so much for listening through to the end. Well, we're very excited for this new format of the episode, kind of having this us on camera, and we'll continue to have live guests on the show. We'll continue to have just in general, you know, moving our show to the next level. Please follow us on social medias. It's Centric at Centric on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channels. Crypto Kai, would you like to end the show on anything?
Yeah, if there's anything, I mean, we have a lot of obvious prop space back here. If there's any props or anything that you guys would like to possibly see incorporated into the show, obviously we're a link centered show, so it would be nice to probably get like a link cube or something in here.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But if you have any ideas, like just shoot it our way, DM us on Twitter, or even just mention us in a tweet or something.
Yep.
We'd love to see any feedback on what we can do to better the production of the show.
Agreed.
So,
well, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching through to the end, and have a fantastic day. Thank you.